Hello, everyone. So, you may have noticed that every so often, especially on Twitter, I talk about how I would like to do things with cooking. It can be a little difficult to do considering uh, being a VTuber, but I was able to get the assistance of a good friend by the name of Stanley. Stanley, do you want to introduce yourself? Say hi. Stanley says hi. Anyway, so today, what we're going to do is we're going to be looking at a compilation of work that I had Stanley go through in order to make uh, just one part of a meal. You could add different things to it as much as you wanted. But let's go ahead and take a look. So, what the plan is today is we are going to be making a cheddar sauce over penne noodles and chicken. Now, Stanley, do you have the chicken? Stanley? Stanley, do you have your chicken? Great. Wonderful. So we'll do that. And do you have your other ingredients? So I will note here that there's nothing wrong with using boxes for food. In fact, if you're on a tight budget and you don't want to buy all the spices and all the herbs and all the different little things in order to make whatever it is you're wanting to make, it's perfectly fine to get a box food. $1.50 for a box of this compared to the $25 it's going to get all the little bits and pieces and then some, there's nothing wrong with that. You do what your budget can afford. Alright, Stanley, let's continue. Okay, so you've got your chicken cooking, and it's looking pretty good there. Now, I will note that with the chicken, you do want to cook it with about a tablespoon of butter. Now, he has the 2 boxes. That's because we're doing a double batch here. So once you have the chicken properly cooked, you're going to start adding the ingredients. Now, with this box meal, it is, I believe we're looking at 6 cups of milk. Right there, he's got about 4. Oh, and let me actually clarify that. We don't like to use water, and that's, you can use water, that the instructions say to use water, but we like to add more milk. We just like that creaminess it gives. Oh, and we also use whole milk. So go ahead, Stanley. You got that. Stanley? Oh, yes, that's the other thing. Thank you, Stanley, for bringing attention to this. So, we have extra sharp cheddar that we add into it. Now, that's not necessarily something that you have to do in order for this to be a successful meal. We just like that extra kick that the extra sharp cheddar gives. Now, you can see that the amount here is maybe about 3/4 of a cup of cheddar, extra sharp cheddar, and again, that's on a double batch, and we're just adding that for the, uh, for the box meal. So let's go ahead and continue. Thank you, Stanley, for remembering that. Okay. Oh, you're going to get more milk. Okay, so he got the rest of the milk and the cheddar in, and then the next step is going to be to get those boxes open and add the powders as well as the noodles. Now, personally, I like to add the powder first and get that all mixed in so that you're not getting any chunks of the powder stuck inside the noodles, because you'll get into your meal and suddenly get a really sharp and pungent... Oh, you're moving on. So after you've gotten the powder mixed in, which, oh, I guess I could have kept going. I guess that's what he's doing. Once you get the powder mixed in, then go ahead and add the noodles. Now, from this point, we're wanting to stir every so often as the sauce is boiling. Well, let's see. We want to get it to boiling. We want the cheese to melt, and we want the noodles to be soft. So right now he's just making sure all the noodles are in, they're all soaked in the milk, they're all properly underneath. Ooh, and look at that beautiful color. You can see it's boiling now. As you stir, make sure you're getting some of that excess cheese off of the edges of the pan, that way it doesn't burn on. And looks like that cheese is all melted. Oh, my mouth is watering just looking at that. It looks so good to me. Anyway, so yes, from here, once you have this all put in, I believe the next step here, like once it's boiling, you're going to lower the heat. You can cover and simmer, and then you're basically just waiting for the noodles to be soft enough for you to like. I like to eat my noodles al dente. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the term, that means to the tooth. Basically, they're not quite soft, they're not squishy, but they're easy to bite into. Like they have a firmness to the noodle without being crunchy. So let's see if there's anything else he's got here. Oh, right there is where he's covering and simmering. He must have just been making sure that things were stirred properly. But yeah, so you lower that heat, you'll cover and simmer it, and then you can see that the sauce is thicker. Oh, and that's the other thing. Once the noodles are softer, you want the sauce to thicken up as well. And they usually kind of go at the same rate, noodle softening and sauce thickening. If not, once the noodles are close to the texture you would like, you can actually turn your heat off and let it cool to thicken up. Now from here, it looks like he is ready to serve, because I know Stanley, and he likes to serve it right out of the pan. But things that you can add to that so that it's not just a bowl of pasta and chicken is you can actually add some different little things. You can do some mashed potatoes on the side. I personally like to do some salted French-style green beans. But yes, I hope that this has been an informative video, and I hope that you like it. Please like and share and, all the usual YouTube things, even though I'm probably going to be posting this on Twitter first. But yes, if you would, and you liked it, enjoyed it, and thought that this was a good idea, please spread around. I do hope to do more like this. And hopefully we'll be able to come up with some meals that you can do on a budget. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay safe.